Ashley back with the bullshit.
And this is the Young and Gettin It podcast. Just so you guys remember, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. Just search Young and Gettin It podcast, subscribe, leave a review. We're also on soundcloud.com/weareyagip. Please follow us, also comment, and, tell us how you feel about the show. Mm-hmm. You can also find us on youtube.com. Search Young and Gettin It podcast. We're also on Google Play, Stitcher, and Pocket Casts.
You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at YAGI_podcast. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/YAGIP.
OD.
Oh, yep. YAGIPOD. And you can also find us on our website, www.weareyagip.com. And you can also hit us up on our email, ashleyandninapod@gmail.com. We appreciate y'all reaching out. We always want to hear from y'all. So this week, it has been a rough one. So we're probably going to start out with a look at God, because I do feel like there are some things that we feel like we need to be grateful for, even if we don't feel like there is anything to be grateful for. Because life is rough, mental health is real, mental health issues are real, and it also is Mental Health Awareness Month. So we're going to do the episode a little bit different this week and start off with a look at God. Nina, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, so my look at God is that, let me think about it, because my week, it wasn't that bad, but were some things that frustrated me this week. But my look at God is me being able to realize what I need to be grateful for, because there are times when I feel like things are super rough and out of control and that somebody must hate me because why are things so horrible? But this week was actually not as bad as I thought it would be, because Lord knows and y'all know how much I hate my job. And I've also started school too. So that has also been another added stressor. And I had a midterm this weekend, so I literally worked all this week and then had to work on the weekend. But I was able to do the hardest problem on my midterm, and I feel like I would get a pretty good score on my midterm. So that's a good thing, because school stress is a very large factor in my life.
So if you can't tell, my voice is very different this week because I'm going through some shit. But there's always something to look at God about.
Mm-hmm.
I think my look at God is that if I don't bail out, I'll graduate in 12 weeks.
That's not that long. It'll fly by.
Yeah, it's like school's very hard. And it sucks because I spend so much time trying to help my good friends get into school, because I know what difference it made for me. But now that I'm in the situation that I'm telling them to get into, even whether or not those are associates, bachelor's, masters, it's like I am literally in a living hellhole. But this program was a year and all I have is 12 weeks left. So I'll just keep reminding myself that it's 12 weeks.
And then never, ever, ever again will you go back.
Yeah, so if it was up to me, we just wouldn't be taping this podcast right now, because typically when I feel like this, I don't want to do anything. I wouldn't do my homework. I wouldn't go eat. I wouldn't do anything. I literally would just lay in my bed. I remember 2 years ago on my actual birthday, I was going through something and I laid in my bed for over 6 hours on my birthday and did nothing until nighttime, because my depression hits hard sometimes. And I know on a future episode I want to talk about the fact that my brother died less than 2 years ago, because I feel like that has a lot to do with how I'm able to handle things nowadays in both sides, whereas I'm stronger when things happen to me. But when life continues to keep happening to me, I'm not really a functional person. And it's interesting that it's Mental Health Awareness Month, because as I was sitting in my car driving back to my parents' house, I was thinking, like, I don't even think you have just temporary depression. Like, I think you actually have mental illness. Like, I'm actually starting to think that I have some sort of mental illness, because just hearing stories, I'm like, people like manic depression to where sometimes they feel amazing, and then sometimes they feel terrible. And if I look back, the past 3 weeks, the only feelings I've had have been either amazing or terrible. And on Friday, I think I told Ashley, I was like, I'm actually extremely happy and extremely depressed at the same time. And that's never happened to me before. So I think it's important for everyone to like stop trying to be fake for the internet. And like, I know that it only makes sense to only show your best times on the internet. It doesn't make sense to talk about your depression on every post, but I mean, some people still do it, but it does actually make sense to only talk about your happy moments. But hopefully people are able to kind of express themselves more, and I hope that people have the friends around them to talk about stuff like that, because I can remember periods of time when I didn't, and those are the periods of time when I was the most suicidal. And so it's like I wanted to get into the subject base of why I'm upset, because I feel like it really can help a lot of people. But I'm already crying, and I don't feel like crying more than I already am. So I guess, like, if I could say anything, the only thing I could say is that if you're going through depression, or if you've been going through depression since you were a little kid, you're not the only person that's going through it. And if you have a moment like mine where you actually consider that you might have manic depression or anything like that, you have to go get help, because suicidal thoughts aren't a joke. And if you don't help yourself, you might actually end up doing it. And I couldn't imagine my parents losing my brother and then losing me. So while how I feel is terrible right now, my brother's death is a blessing in disguise, because it's one of the main reasons why I wouldn't hurt myself. Can we pause for a second?
Yeah.
The only other thing I wanted to say is, people who make their own mistakes and then they go through painful experiences. And I think that's my biggest issue, is my entire life people have not hesitated for a second to tell me everything they don't like about me. People have never hesitated to tell me what's wrong with me. So there's a lot of people out there who are probably doing things that are wrong and still going through pain, but it still will never equate to doing something that will hurt a lot of people. And we can move on.
Okay, so like Nina was saying, if you feel like you have ever experienced any of these thoughts, or you even have had the slightest feeling that you have a mental health issue that does need attention, call your medical care provider, or you could even sign up for something like Talkspace. We've talked about that before. There are also several other online resources, and there's also hotlines for if you are feeling suicidal. I can post those down below, like I have done before. I think it was like our first episode, I posted those down at the bottom. So if you do feel like you're having these thoughts, you guys, you have to take care of yourselves, because it is not conducive to anything productive in your life to ignore a problem that you have. So I know if you have Kaiser, you could call member services, and they will assist you in figuring out how to even get a therapist, because I know a lot of times that is the problem. Just people don't know how to get a therapist, or they don't want to go into the hospital, or they just feel like maybe this isn't a real issue. Maybe I am dramatic. But if you feel that you need that help, or if you feel like you can't figure out something on your own, a therapist is a great person to go to. And just like I said, use Talkspace. You don't even have to leave your house at all. And nobody will make fun of you for bettering yourself. And if they do, then they're probably part of the problem, probably part of the reason why you feel that way. So another topic that I wanted to talk about is I guess since we're on the topic of mental health awareness, being African American, we do have a lot of struggles when it comes to mental health and just the what I don't want to say depression racism causes, because that isn't the only thing, but it does cause a lot of stress and anxiety. And so I recently started watching Dear Black People once again, and I forget the guy's
Dear White
name.
People.
Yeah, Dear White People, sorry. I started watching it again, and one of the main characters got held up at gunpoint on a college campus that he went to at a party, and so after he got held at gunpoint, he literally shut down. He closed himself off to everyone, and he was depressed. So I just wanted to ask, like, can being too woke hurt you? Because there are people out there that are advocating for rights for African Americans, for us. They're out there risking their lives, putting themselves on the line. So
being too woke does hurt you.
Yeah.
Because Martin Luther King got his head shot off. Malcolm X was murdered.
Yeah.
These people were woke. If you're woke, if you're a real woke, not the Instagram woke. If you're a real woke person, you're probably in the front lines, like fighting for rights, which makes sense because as time goes on, we have gained more and more rights because of the same people who fought for us. So yes, you will get hurt. You're going to get hosed down. You'll probably get attacked by some dogs. You might even get called a nigger. Like, I don't even think being woke shouldn't hurt. I feel like people become woke because something hurt them. But and in our community, it's the black thing.
Yeah. So, like, they know somebody who's been a victim of gun violence, or they know somebody who's been stereotyped by the police, by a police officer. So, yeah, being woke can hurt you. And then just thinking about how on the show, what's her name? Coco. I forget her real name. She's one of the characters that,
the dark skin girl,
that advocates, like, y'all don't need to be doing this. Like, why don't you guys just assimilate so that we could increase our chances of living? And so to me, that was, I completely understood what she was saying, but it's like, at the same time, we shouldn't have to assimilate to be respected as basic and have basic human being rights. Like,
yeah, because they're in college, so I feel like Coco's thinking temporary while all the fighters are thinking long term. Like, they're not thinking,
and they're thinking for everyone.
Yeah, they're thinking for everyone, and she's thinking for her class. Yeah, for her year, for when she. And I mean that's why it's like, even though she's kind of annoying, like, her points, it's like I can't even be mad at her.
Yeah, like, she makes sense.
She wants things to be better for her class.
Unlike Kanye West, she makes sense.
Yeah. Seriously.
So another question. Oh, did you have something to add?
By the way, I heard this, so I think this is true. Meek Mill was actually going to meet with President Trump to talk about prison reform, which is a very slippery slope. Jay-Z actually called Meek Mill and was like, don't go. So I'm pretty sure Meek Mill, from what I'm hearing, I'm pretty sure Meek Mill didn't go.
But why would he tell him not to go?
Because you see how every time Trump meets with somebody, he walks out with them, shakes their hand in front of all the cameras. Yeah. And then even though Steve Harvey met with him and that didn't blow up as crazy as Kanye, it's like, look at the Kanye shit that happened. Like, the thing with Trump is he don't actually care. He just wants people to be like, hey, see, I have niggers on my side. Like, even black people who voted for Hillary are talking to me. Like, so Jay-Z called him, like, don't even, because he's manipulating people. Because you have to think about Donald Trump. He manipulated the country to become president. Yeah. So he's probably manipulating these people.
A lot more things than just the country.
Right, exactly. His whole business was sketch and fucked up. So that was just a BTW popped up in my head.
It's something I didn't know, so I'm cool with that. So my friend Christopher, while we're on the subject of Dear White People, he asked me if do we feel like shows like Dear White People and even shows like Grownish for younger audiences appropriately or effectively identify issues with cultural appropriation and racism. So the scene where student got held at gunpoint at a university that he went to school to, and he went to school at, and he had to show his ID before the officer believed him, and he had a gun held on him when he had no weapon. That was appropriately depicted, especially with these issues that have happened recently at Harvard, where the students are sleeping in their own dorm common area, and then the white student calls the police on them.
And was it their common area? I have no idea where they were sleeping.
I think it was the common area.
Because my point is, like, I could be fucking sleeping in the
library.
In the library.
I've definitely done that several times.
I can be sleeping in the student union.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
It doesn't.
I go here.
Yeah.
So that was my point. Like, because I didn't know where they were sleeping, but when I was like, I don't know, I was like, it doesn't actually matter at all where they were sleeping, because how are you gonna wake someone up and be like, oh, you probably don't go here, let me find the fuck? Like,
and it's like, why do you have so much time to be focusing on other shit?
And coincidentally,
like,
they're all fucking black,
right?
And I bet they didn't even look homeless.
Exactly. She said she was doing her homework. She had gotten tired, so she took a nap, and then
like we all do.
Yeah, and then I guess that's when she woke up, she started getting harassed. I don't know if she was woken up or got woke up, and then she started getting harassed.
I think they woke her up.
Yeah, probably woke her up,
because I think she called the police while the girl was still sleeping.
Like, bro.
Yeah, she got woken up to the police, which is
annoying.
As frightening as a black person. If I ever wake up, I actually have a fear that, because this happens, I'm gonna get arrested for some shit I didn't even do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because that happens to people. This one boy, he went to jail when he was 14, and he just got out now, and he's 29 or something, for killing a CO officer that he never killed.
That was 15 fucking years to his life.
Yeah, and it's like, that's my biggest fear, is like, you don't know, like, what if someone did a crime and they don't want to go to jail, so they're like, hey, look at that girl, let me make sure I frame her.
Or they just pick you up because you fit the profile.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that happens a lot, especially I've heard from multiple black boys, because you know black boys be doing sports. Multiple black boys are either running home because they're late, or running home to practice running, and they're all getting pulled over by cops because they're black and they're running.
Okay.
I'm like, wow.
I don't even understand how that's probable cause to pull somebody over, because apparently that's what you need, but I guess anything justifies it as in having brown skin.
If you see a white kid running, you ain't gonna do shit.
Right? You're just gonna assume Johnny's running home from track practice or some shit. Like, you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, they're definitely doing something. You know, Matt's probably like,
no, it's hilarious, because every black person I've been around has been giving white people names, and that shit is the funniest.
Oh, that's like one of my favorite things to do, especially when I get road rage.
Yeah. They'll be like, okay, fucking Caitlin over here. This
Susan.
Bitch.
My favorite is Susan. That is like the epitome of a
white,
calling the police ass white person.
Yeah. You saw we didn't talk about it. The lady
who called the police at the park.
And it was funny because Jesus and Meryl were like, and she would have the fucking school shooter assault rifle glasses on, because she sure did. I died. She had the exact fucking I kill black people glasses on. Oh my God, don't you get uncomfortable when you go to a sunglasses store and you see those glasses? Like, who's putting that on their fucking face?
You know, it's even funnier. My dad and my brother-in-law have.
Oh, those? What do they use them for?
My dad wears them.
They really block everything out of your eyes, don't they? Because they look like, that's why.
And they go like on the side.
That's
so my dad has a pair, but so my brother-in-law, he coaches, so he uses them when he's in the sun, and then my dad uses them when he's at work.
What, Jeanette's husband?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't see old nigga glasses. But it's on a white person.
Real functional shits.
On a white person, it really looks like you're attempting or have already killed a black person.
You know what? Speaking of when you get school shooters, because this week has been real if you watch the news. Because before we like started taping, I was like, Nina, has anything happened in the world that I like need to care about? And then I was like, no, there's nothing, because I forgot there was the 17th school shooting this week.
And I keep saying, these niggas wouldn't be shooting up schools if we didn't popularize shooting up schools. The originals, the Columbines, those are originals. And even though it's not okay, I call those the originals.
And if you have shows modeled off after it, like, what is it? American Horror Story. In one of the seasons, it's like, I forget which one it is, but one of the kids, he shot up a school.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
I've never watched that show because the commercial scares me.
Oh, the show is pretty kind of it's kind of creepy, but in one of the episodes, the guy shoots up his school, and he's like I think it's Monster House. I think it's in the first season, and you don't know his backstory from the beginning. You just think like, oh, he's a ghost. Like, you don't know how he became a ghost, and then you find out like, oh, this nigga shot up a whole ass fucking school
and then got killed.
Yeah.
Oh hell no.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever watch that show.
No, yeah, it's kind of intense. I couldn't watch it for the longest time. And then one of them, like Asylum, that one's scary. Yeah, just don't watch it.
Oh my god.
Just avoid it.
This nigga's a ghost because he killed a whole bunch of people. I kind of want to see that episode.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it kind of, like you're saying, it does make people think that it's cool, because the fact that like CNN is promoting that there's been 17 school shootings since the month of January. So that's an average of 1.5 shootings a month.
Since January. It's not even halfway through the year. It's May.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, Mental Health Awareness Month for real, because a lot of them claim that shit.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them like say, oh, well, nobody likes me and this, side, and the other. And it's like, okay, well, you didn't have to kill everybody.
You really didn't. You could have just killed yourself. And like, I know that's fucked up.
It's really fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up, because I'm also an advocate for do not kill yourself. But I will never say, oh, kill other people before you kill yourself. No, always kill yourself.
Like, if you plan to shoot up a school or shoot up like a mass event,
do you first.
Yeah. Because I was thinking about it, like my nephews, one of them's homeschooled now, and then the other one, he's still in school, but like he barely goes. And I'm like, you know what? I don't know how mad I can be at him for not going to school anymore. Like, I don't know his reasonings, but it's just like, with all this shit happening at school, I don't know how comfortable I feel with him going to school and me having to worry, like, is this nigga gonna come back home?
Yeah,
you know?
It's kind of fucked up, because I do have paranoia. That's why I sit in the back of all of my classes so I can see everything. But also, it's fucked up because I'm like, thank God all my classmates are Chinese, you know, from China.
Yeah.
You know what Asian people do? They commit suicide.
Yeah,
they don't kill other, they don't shoot other people.
Where's that forest? It's like in Japan.
The suicide forest. Yeah. That's it. And it's a whole thing. Like, actually, one of the things I was reading about Japanese, and we were talking about the conversions to the yen, it was all this shit happening, financial crisis. And one of the bank, like, CEOs, like, right when the financial crisis happened, he just, like, booked a hotel and just hung himself in the hotel. Like, suicide amongst, I wonder if they were talking about suicide rates in that article, but I don't know what it is about the Asian community. Like, oh, it's like dishonorable, you know, like if you're not like if you fuck up, or if you're like a disgrace, like you should end your life. And that's kind of like, that's some sort of weird mentality of like, oh, if you're just like Hitler, you know, like it's that same thing. Like, oh, I didn't succeed and I'm a failure. And in America, you just fail and then you just
bounce back and recover.
You literally
or
just
you become a bum.
Right. A lot of them become a bum, but it's war also. But it's like, yeah, you just hit the floor. Like, I'm hitting the floor right now, and then it's like, just get back up and keep moving.
And that's why we have to advocate going to counseling, because I know a lot of people who need it and don't go.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you can't, like, yes, you can rely on your friends to be there for you, but your friends are not a counselor. They are not trained in how to handle situations. They are not trained in how to teach you proper coping mechanisms. Like, unless they have been licensed in these things, and you're one fortunate ass motherfucker to get free counseling, like,
right,
you need to be getting help.
Yeah, it's very important.
And that's the suckiest thing, because it takes so much time out of your life, and it's
and it costs money.
It costs money.
That's why we talk about Talkspace, because that's just literally the cheapest one I've heard of. I think the rate I was hearing was $30 a month, but I know it also probably it's really good. But it also probably depends on the service, because you, like, I'm gonna get an account, and I've been talking about that shit for like a year. I've just been too busy.
Need to sign up like today.
Yeah.
After we finish,
I've just been too busy and too broke, which, like, broke is so fucking relative, because we can't stop traveling. But like, they also like text, you know, like you can text them, like, so you could be having a breakdown, text them. You can also email. I think they've covered every form of communication. So you can FaceTime.
Yeah, I saw the
email,
FaceTime.
Text, call. What other? I know you can't mail. That's retarded. But
let me write my therapist a letter.
That's so fucking weird. I'd be like, why are you writing me a letter?
They probably have like live chat online, like some Skype like based like thing.
Yeah, they have to have something like that.
I think I want FaceTime.
I want to use that service, at least for the first one, and I want a black counselor. And me and Ashley talked about that too. I was like, I'm not racist at all. It's just that
the
relatability, especially as a black woman, and like especially with some of the issues I've dealt with are very black woman issues. Yeah. So like I am gonna be like, hey, please give me a black woman. Please give me an older black woman. You know, like someone who's just been through shit. Like I need,
well,
you know, like some Ayanla shit. You know, like. You know, Ayanla, she's been through some shit. Ayanla Van Zandt fixed my life.
That lady that be yelling at people?
Yes, she been through she been through some terrible shit.
You know what? There was a show making fun of her.
Yeah. Everybody makes fun of her because she's crazy.
Not on my watch.
I need to watch
That's
her
what
episodes.
I remember her from.
I actually think I have it on my TV.
Honestly, she couldn't be my therapist because she's too loud. And I don't like people that talk loud. Like, if you talk loud, the odds of me being your friend are very small. And
I think she was like, I'm not a therapist, I'm a life coach. And I'm like, yeah, I can't go to you because what you would be doing is looking at me like, I had a therapist like that too shortly at Cal State Fullerton, and I stopped going to him because it was like, he was more of like, well, if you know you're not supposed to be doing it, why would you do it?
Nigga, because I'm depressed.
I was like,
I have self-destructive behaviors.
Yeah.
Okay?
Everything I did was self-destructive. And so it's just like, how are you talking to me like that? You're not helping me. And then I just literally started avoiding him. I remember one time we were in the dining hall and he saw me. Well, mind you, you're not supposed to talk to your patients outside. And he started like clearing his voice, like, yeah, trying to get my attention. And then another time he was like behind me. Like he was just, you know, everyone's walking and he was behind me. I think he also like cleared his throat. He was very strange because I remember before I ever saw him in the counseling office, I just saw him just like I would see anyone else around campus, and he would be staring at me. So it was just like a very, very weird, uncomfortable situation. Yeah. Right. But yeah, sorry, we tangented.
We did.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about can being too woke hurt you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and see how that just went into just a whole bunch of hurt.
Right? Because we were too woke. We just started thinking about too much.
Yeah, it's like, because I can admit that I'm woke, but I'm not finna fight for nobody because I can barely fight for myself. So I have no problem being a quote-unquote freedom fighter or whatever. But
a freedom rider? I don't know.
No, freedom fighter. I mean, they're both. Those both exist. Freedom fighter.
Rider.
Fighter is like...
What's the one where you just like live with the benefits that people fight for you for? Because I think that's me.
What is that?
I don't know.
There's a word for
it. Yeah, I just don't know what it is. But honestly, I think that's me because I don't know, like, if I would go out and march. Like,
I'm not.
Like, I got a job.
Exactly.
Even though I don't like it. Like, I don't know. I just have other shit to do.
We have other shit to do. And so, I mean.
To make sure I can have a future. Like, I could live in a racist future. Like, I've done it all my life.
Right.
So, it's like I can continue to thrive in it.
And we've lived in a shitty world since we were born. So, I mean, we could just continue to live in a shitty world. I'm like, you know, like we're gonna be dead before we see the Martin Luther King was not here to see what happened,
any
which
of
sucks.
the benefits of his hard labor.
Like he's literally like a god, and he does not see any of it. He was just fucking bitches, and they got shot.
Whoa,
he was totally fucking bitches.
There.
I mean, everybody knows. Yeah. Good God! Shout out Vital Information. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna fight, and maybe and that's not saying forever. I'm saying
just right now,
as long as my life is a shithole, I ain't fighting. Because what I'm gonna do is go out there, try to fight for y'all, and start doing some reckless behavior because I ain't fixing my own shit. And we're gonna be those black people that everyone's mad at for doing the wrong thing. Because remember how all them black people like the Black Lives Matter shit, and some of them were like really good, and some of them were like doing horrible things, and everyone's like, oh, they're a terrorist group, and it's like. We don't know those people. Like, those people didn't do good in school. Like, they're
just
retarded.
Came with name tags on.
They really just
trying to sign up.
They were just angry. They just came to fight. Like, those people don't even care about Black Lives Matter. They're trying to get extra welfare. Like, not to be racist. No, but remember the story of the girl who, she was like 26. She had 5 kids, and she's been living off of welfare for 10 years. And her check was fat. She was like, I just bought an iPhone 6 because it was new at that time. I just bought an iPhone 6. You know, it's Amsterdam. Sorry. Just bought an iPhone 6. Just bought like, I know, right? She was like, I just bought a car. My kids have Jordans.
Oh,
like,
fuck no.
Yeah, she was on the news. I'm sure her shit got revoked. But you know, when you're that uneducated, you would say that shit in public so that all your shit could get taken away.
And you know what? That's what we were talking about. People that are too fucking flashy.
Yeah.
And the internet the nets, those internets out there has done that to y'all motherfuckers.
Can I just diss one type of person real quick?
Go ahead.
And it's gonna be a lot of people.
Oh, I love you, babe. Did you see that shit?
No.
Oh, bitch. I gotta show you.
On the person I was talking about? Or no? Someone else?
It's somebody that you talked about before.
Oh, okay.
I love you, babe.
I was just gonna diss anyone who spends a ton of money on a Louis Vuitton suitcase and then checks their bag. You're an idiot.
No, or those. Okay, so when Nina and I were coming back from London, this lady, she like looked like she was rich. I was like, damn. I was like, Nina, did you say that lady? I was like, she just looked rich. Like, I was like, I don't even know what brand her bags are like. So we get on the plane, and it just so happens this bitch is on our flight too. Why did this bitch walk to the back of the plane, past fucking business economy? Past first class, she went straight to business class. I'm like, okay.
So you got money.
And like everyone that I saw that got on our flight that had some designer bags were sitting in business class. I was like, that's really interesting.
That's funny because like I've seen the complete opposite where it's like especially for Rolling Loud, so you know all these niggas came out like I swear a quarter of my plane was drunk. Like a quarter of the whole plane was drunk. The guy next to me wasn't even going to Rolling Loud and he was drunk. Like he was some white guy. I was sitting next to him because I got sick during the flight and I was like I drank too much. He was like, me too. I was like, this nigga, you wearing a suit, like where are you going?
He's
like
probably on a business trip because I know I'll be turning up when I'm on business trips because you get expense shit.
Yeah, I love sitting next to nice people on an airplane.
Me
it makes
too.
life so much easier. But see, I've seen the exact opposite because for Rolling Loud, especially for Rolling Loud when I went to the airport, and now every time I go to the airport, I see it because I've just been at the airport a lot recently. Like so many like name brand bags. But the reason why I diss people with Louis Vuitton bags that get checked because they treat your bag like shit.
Like that better be your carry-on.
So right, a Louis Vuitton carry-on makes sense, even though it will still get scratched if the plane is full. But the suitcase, they chuck that thing.
They really be throwing your shit.
They throw your suitcase if they feel like it. I'm sure there's some planes where they're like, do not do that because
and guess what? Them motherfuckers still be doing it. Because my wheels have been fucked up when I got my suitcase.
My shit was mildly, it wasn't cracked, but it was like, it got hit so hard that the paint lightened. Like, what do you mean? Like, I was like, okay, yeah. And so that's annoying. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. What was the original, because there was some point I had to make based off of what you were talking about.
Oh, you were saying you saw the opposite.
Oh, the opposite, yeah. So it was an economy flight, and all these niggas with Louis Vuitton carry-ons, and like, I was like, why has the airport turned into a fashion show? One thing I do understand about the airport is you know, you can come presentable. You can come with like nice pants on or nice shirt on or even nice sweats on with nice sandals, you know, like, but I mean like, whoa. Like I've seen more name brands at the airport than I see in all the Chinese students in class, and that means something because these Chinese students be having the name brands on every day.
Be like, on that.
They having the Mercedes Benz right when they got from America from China, like, and so it's like you guys have all of this, but you're sitting in an economy flight. Like you guys have all these Louis Vuitton. You're wearing an outfit that's like maybe real or fake Gucci, like, you know, like you've got all your fancy shit on. But you're on economy. So
like, what's your savings account like?
Shit's desperate.
That's all I want to know. That's all I care about.
I'm not hating on these people because you can't really hate on something that you already have. But and I don't have these material things because I'm not one to really waste my money. Like I have to be in the tax bracket to buy certain things because I'm trying to buy a house. But it's like it shows how like ignorant society is and how media has really fucked people up. And like even back to the conversation of being woke, it's like people almost don't care about being woke as long as there's people out there being woke, whereas we care about being woke. We're just too busy to be freedom fighters. Like I can't speak for other people, but that's just a very interesting observation that you saw people with name brands go to business and I saw everyone name brands go to economy, and it was all people of color.
I mean, that's it right there. We like looking rich. We like looking like we have shit.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. All the way into black men hating themselves and only dating white women or light-skinned women because they hate their own skin because society has told them that they're not worthy.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy how we talk to somebody who was like, oh, yeah, I like black women this, black women that. And then a black woman liked them and they weren't interested in a light-skinned person like them and they hopped on that shit so quick.
In their defense, she's still black, but
she is black. Yeah, that's why I said light skin. because it's not, there's obviously nothing wrong with dating a light-skinned person, but I don't like people who prefer. Like, you should just like,
true that.
I like light-skinned men too, you know, like,
yeah,
you know, like, that's the thing, I like people who aren't even black, you know, it's just like,
it's
I
like,
don't
like
prefer, like, I don't prefer, exactly, I mean, will they like me is definitely a huge thing,
but I definitely do feel the most comfortable with like a black person, because they just understand things on a different level, like, that go on in your life that other people don't.
And I am interested in keeping the legacy of black in my family, so even Henshi last week he was like, oh yeah, my wife's Nigerian, I'm Nigerian. I was like, oh shit, your kids
full
are
Nigerian
100%
babies.
Nigerian. That's pretty cool.
You know, that made me think about the royal wedding and how everybody's like, oh, a black woman's getting into the royal family, and it's like, y'all,
she's half black.
First of all, she's white passing as fuck,
right?
Second of all, that fucking marriage is not going to end racism,
right?
Sorry.
And somebody was telling me, who was it? Somebody was just like, I hope she don't get shot.
That was me.
Oh, that was you. Okay. I was like, who was that in my DMs? Yeah, just like, I hope she don't get shot.
Her and not Trump.
Right? How the fuck ain't Trump ain't got shot yet?
I don't know.
Like, the cartel must fuck with Trump,
right? He got some underhand businesses going on.
Man, you know, he probably is linked up with the cartel. The cartel don't play.
No.
But
he's probably their puppet.
He's linked up with Russia. It's crazy because people have found out so much about the election, even about Facebook giving information to Russia during the election
and this
time.
nigga's still sitting up in the house.
He's still sitting there. They will protect him. Let Obama go through 1/50th of what Trump went through, and Obama would have been out the office.
You said Bobama. I like
Obama.
that name. Bobama.
Bobama.
Gangsta Obama.
It's like blood. Oh my god, I couldn't imagine.
Blood Bama.
I like them gangs.
Was Bracken.
America. Bamerica.
Niggas that do that, you're ignorant.
You know, Cardi B, even though she deleted her profile, she came back to promote her music video. She finally came out with Be Careful.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm starting to realize? Why are people releasing music videos way after the song is played out? And I think it's that they made the music video a long time ago. Because, you know, they had pictures of her when she was pregnant. And I think she made the I Like It Like That video a long time ago. That shit still ain't released. But I think they make it and then they track the sales. And as soon as
they start dropping,
it's like a growth rate. Like once their growth rate hits a certain number, they're like, let's drop a video to increase the growth rate.
Yeah, they want to keep people interested because you get paid. Even though YouTube pays shitty, for those of you that don't know, you get paid for your plays. So
you know, it's crazy. The original YouTube famous people that like damn, that Asian guy who's on Wild 'N Out now.
I know who you're talking about.
I took a picture with him too, which is fucked up. Like I literally have a picture with him in my phone.
Sorry, bro.
But Timothy De La Ghetto.
Yep.
The original, he's one of the original YouTubers. He actually was able to get equity stake.
Okay.
But obviously YouTube got hip to the game. Like we don't need to be giving these niggas equity. So he actually bought a whole house off of his equity stake in YouTube. Like, which is like, wow. But I mean, now they pay shitty. But,
yeah, because they're like, y'all motherfuckers ain't about to be eating off us.
Yeah, y'all. Yeah, like we want the money.
Like, what do you think this was?
And YouTube is like becoming a kingpin. Like YouTube is like next to Netflix with it, just because.
Yeah, where else do you go to watch videos?
Like they're talking about Jesus and Meryl on the Western Bros podcast, and they're like, I watch Jesus and Meryl more on YouTube than I do on TV, and it's like, yeah, me too. Like it's just
I watch Breakfast Club
all day, all day, or the podcast app. I don't even like. The funny thing is that they mentioned Breakfast Club. They're like, more people listen to Breakfast Club on the podcast app or YouTube than they do on the actual radio when it actually airs.
Because who turns on the radio anymore?
And I think they tape at like 4:30 in the morning. Like it's some ridiculous time. I think it's 5 or 5:30. Like
for us or New York for real.
For New York, for real, they're taping at 5. I think they start at 6, but because Charlamagne said he wakes up at 4 every day.
Oh shit!
He was showing up late to work for like 2 weeks straight. So he said he just like instead of waking up at 4:30, he wakes up at 4 now.
Yeah,
his phone is still going off on every interview, and my brain is gonna blow up. But yeah, if you don't have anything else to say, this might be a good time for a commercial break.
Yeah. Hey everyone, so it is Mental Health Awareness Month, so I'm going to interrupt the show very quickly to bring you a mental health tool. Yes, that's what I would like to call it. So we talked about it a lot, often, or whatever, and we have given a discount code for this in previous episodes, and I am talking about Talkspace. So you can find Talkspace on Talkspace.com, and they also have apps available for Android and Apple iPhones. And some of the services that are offered are unlimited messaging therapy, couples therapy. We know that's a big one. Instagram be ruining relationships.
Okay.
And just yourself, like, not knowing who you are ruins relationships, as well as not knowing your worth and dating a fuckboy ruins your relationships. So couples therapy is on there. Talkspace for business. Okay. That is one that I've never known it existed. This one's very fucking hilarious to me because I don't know what it means. It's social media therapy.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know what that means.
What?
You see how everyone's self-esteem is fucked up because of social media? You see how people are deleting their profiles because they can't handle people living better lives than them? That's that shit.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, they have social media dependence therapy. That's what it is.
Wow.
Yep. So if you feel like you need to Snapchat every meal, if you feel like you absolutely need an outfit of the day, this is for you.
Like, y'all didn't even see me. My eyes got so wide that I can't even believe Thank you, Talkspace. You guys are really doing that.
You're
are you
doing
serious?
The damn thing. Yes.
Social media dependence therapy? Holy moly.
Shit just got real.
And we know a couple people who could use that. Yeah. That's crazy.
And there's also gift cards. So if you know somebody who uses Talkspace, or if you want to make that slight suggestion, like maybe you could get them a gift card. And then they also offer assessments. So, I feel like we should be promoting the betterment of everybody's mental state, not just only in Mental Health Awareness Month, but this is a good time to highlight things for individuals who feel like they're struggling and feel like they don't want to get out there and get that help. This is one of those tools you can use and nobody even has to know that you're on it, and you could be getting better for yourself. So if you have these problems, know somebody with them, want to make that suggestion, tell them to go to Talkspace. I will find a discount code and post it in the description of this episode. So be sure to use it when you sign up, and be sure to really think about yourselves. All right, guys, back to the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're back from our commercial break. And another thing I wanted to talk about, because it ties in a lot with what we've talked about already, is the Childish Gambino video, This Is America.
This is America. Don't judge you slipping up. Woo, woo. I want to listen back because I heard 21 Savage, but it was like he had a ton of people in the song. He had just like random, like literally 21 Savage was like, yeah. Like he literally had like 5 rappers on the song. Just
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they named him and I was like, what? So I have to go back and listen. It was just, and that's why SZA was in the video. He's just highlighting a ton of people.
I was wondering, I was like, why is she here? Like, does she have a verse?
She was looking so fucking good. I was like, God damn it, SZA.
We just need money.
Right?
That's it.
You ain't ugly, you just broke.
But that video was intense.
Yeah.
It was like one of the most watched videos, and it like broke a record for something. I was reading it on CNN.
Oh, wow.
Because clearly I get bored at work, and that's what I do. I go on CNN, and they were saying it had the like 90 million views and like, I think it was, I don't want to say it was 24 hours, but I feel like it was 24
It might have been.
It was either 48 or 24 hours. It had like 90 million views.
I'm really about to check.
Yeah, please fact check that shit.
I just want to see where it's at right now. Because if it was at that in a record time, then it must be. Yeah,
booming.
I put THI in the whole shit pops up. Damn.
How much is it at?
It's at 161 million.
Yeah.
161 point. Well, no, let me not do that math shit. 161,490. Yeah, I was like, let me not do that to people.
Oh, so we're not going. Okay, so it's a big number.
161.459 million views. Damn. And I was listening to a lot of people's interpretation of the video because I had my interpretation, but they also said things where I was like, oh, like some people were saying that, like, I think it was Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club was thinking that they thought that I think the first guy they shot, they were saying, like, is that Trayvon Martin? But I was like, I wasn't making the connection of how that could be Trayvon Martin because, like, there was a scuffle and this guy didn't have candy. All these things where it could have been. But I did like how they noticed how he shot the guy in the back of the head and they, like, wrapped up the gun in a cloth and took it away and they grabbed the guy and dragged him away. And I was like, oh. That did happen because they treated the gun like
it's important, like it's sacred, like it's precious. Yeah. But the body, fuck that.
Fuck that. They dragged the body and put the gun in a cloth. Like, damn. But also, it's like the gun in the cloth, like it could represent, like, I would say, like, no fingerprints, but he did do it with his bare hand.
Yeah, no, I feel like it had a lot of symbolism. Yeah, you're rubbing off the evidence. The person who has been wielding the gun from these years does not get in trouble. Yeah. They get a slap on the wrist. Because there is no consequences for him after he did that shit. Nope. That nigga went and started dancing.
He started dancing. And that meant something, too, because it's like there's so many dance crazes and social media things going on. It's like people are getting murdered, and then a new dance comes out the next day, and we're like, hey, everybody knows the new dance,
but nobody knows how to, like, keep people from fucking dying.
Yeah. I do appreciate that they threw in that South African dance.
Yeah, I like that thing. Dance.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know how to do it, but
I really feel like my knee would hurt.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't be able to do it right. Like, I would have to, like, stretch.
No, I feel like you could do it, but me, it's probably a big no.
I just, like, whenever I learn a new dance, I just do it really ugly for an extended period of time, and then it just clicks. That's always how I learn a dance.
When jerking first came out.
Oh, my God. You're a jerk. I know. You know, I was actually, funny thing, I was thinking about the Vixens, and I was like, what happened to all of them? Because
they might be in jail.
The only...
that was rude. If y'all aren't in jail, I'm sorry. I don't know, when people that we used to know, we were like, oh, what happened to them? Either they went to jail or had a baby.
Yeah.
Or they're in a pyramid scheme.
Okay.
Like, it's one of those three things.
You want financial freedom? It's like, nigga, do you make more than me? The fuck? Do you want financial freedom?
My nigga, do you want a paycheck?
But the only people that came out of that jerking phase was YG and Ty Dolla $ign. Those are the only two that I recall. And DJ Mustard. Wait, is DJ Mustard? Yeah, he was the jerking. Yeah.
And then I remember, like, there was the Rangers and the Indigo Vanity.
She fell out.
Tragic.
She fell out. That's what happens when your parents spoil you with a whole bunch of shit but don't teach you anything. Because I remember she got, I remember in high school, like, she went to Los Osos too, but she went to our school too, didn't she?
She went to our school for like a few months.
She got expelled from, like, I think our school because she had like a brass knuckle or something, but also like she was on track with my cousin Amuche and Amuche from our mental health episode. 5150. Yeah, she went to school with her and they were on the same track team, and she was saying, like, she literally had outfits every day for track. And I was like, so your parents spoiled the fuck out of you. So, and people who are really spoiled are really dumb most of the time. And then I think she actually stopped doing track because her grades weren't allowing her to do track anymore. And I was like, oh, yep, that sounds right.
Seems legit.
Yeah. So I don't know what she's doing. She's still doing the same shit, like trying to get famous off the internet. But it's like, oh, the best female jerker doesn't mean anything now.
No, nobody's jerking.
Yeah, nobody's jerking.
Nobody's jerking.
I mean, okay, people are still jerking, but it's just as much as people are still crumping. Because people are still crumping. Remember when I was with Ty? Like,
he really had like crump session battles.
There were full conventions, and I went to them. Like, Jesus. You went to the small one where he choked. Remember he choked? Yeah. And I was like, really?
You're like, he's choking right now.
Ashley,
like, bitch,
Ashley,
this your nigga.
But it's like, after all the practice I watched you do, after all the how you gonna choke now? And it was a time where, like, not choking would have greatly helped him.
I mean, Eminem's choked before.
Niggas be choking. Like, his friend, I went to the competition where the famous
Tommy
crumper.
The Clown?
No, the Tie-Dyes. Tie-Dyes was the, you know.
Apparently he's my cousin. I hate black people.
Everybody's your cousin.
Right? I don't fucking know him.
First of all, that whole crump community, like, it's like cool you're getting people to dance, but you guys aren't teaching them a motherfucking thing.
But remember when Rise came out and everybody wanted to see it, and they were like, oh yeah, dancing saved my life. And it was like,
it's like, I guess it saved your life from gangbanging, but it didn't make you any more intelligent.
My nigga, how are you gonna pay your bills?
Like, you guys aren't even, like, this is supposed to be a thing where it's like, oh, Tie-Dyes is here and he's supposed to talk inspirational. How about you tell these niggas to finish class? Like, don't ditch school.
Ditch school and go crump.
Crump
on the gate at school.
They really were doing that. They were crumping, like, in between class, and they would ditch class sometimes to go crump. And I'm like, okay, you guys are not. There was, at no point did I hear any messages regarding give a fuck about your education. All I heard was, don't shoot people, stay out of gangs. So I'm like, I get it. You guys are from, like, South Central and Compton and all those dangerous areas, but... Yeah. You know, a great way to get out? Scholarships. Like,
and sadly, you got to do some stereotypical shit like play basketball, run track, or play football.
That's what
women, y'all. If y'all played golf, you know how many unclaimed golf scholarships they have for women.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
There's a ton.
Man, I mean, also the greatest finesser, which I'm like,
gonna be playing golf.
You know what's like, especially for undergrad, I don't think you do this for grad school, but one of my friends did this, Kevin. He fucking took all his prereqs, got good grades, everything, applied to UCR for anthropology, got in because ain't nobody does anthropology, and then switched his major into a beneficial major. So I'm like, for all y'all that think you can't get in,
you can get in.
Just choose a major that nobody does. Have decent grades, get the fuck in, especially as undergrad, because they do let you change your major as an undergrad. If you change it freshman year, you're Gucci, because you'll do maybe one semester of bullshit and then you're fine, which I'm sure I did a semester of bullshit at Cal State Fullerton. I definitely have a semester worth of worthless classes for sure.
Yes, that's where they take your money.
Yeah, they were just like, let me get this extra 4,000.
Like, here, take this prereq for this class. Like, honestly, I feel like I could have gone straight into neuroscience and been fine with that OChem, physics
was unnecessary
and
as
biology.
hell.
Like, I've taken biology all my fucking life. I took AP physics in high school. Like, I don't even, like, I used one physics equation for my job. One.
Yeah, physics.
One.
I've never touched anything regarding that subject ever since I finished that class.
Yeah.
And OChem.
Never use that shit.
I literally work in a cancer research laboratory and I don't know no fucking organic chemistry. Like, what the fuck? Like, college is trash.
It really is. Like, they literally siphon your money.
Right.
That's it.
Siphon is a really good word. They siphon
if they're a parasite, they're siphoning your life force.
Oh my gosh, that's really funny. Sorry, we got off track. So this is America.
Yes.
Sorry, guys.
How'd y'all feel about that remake with that white girl? Did you see
that? Oh my
shit?
God, I didn't see it, but
that
I heard
was
it.
Tap dancing. She really was like, "This is America," and then had a tap breakdown.
So what's she calling us, slaves now? The fuck?
Bojangles.
Of all things you do, you gonna tap? Like, you can't play the piano? Like,
and then her backup tap dancers are white. So they all looked funny.
I mean, it makes sense because she saw the hype on the video, which is like, so
like her name's still getting out there, even though I don't fucking know it.
Yeah, because I didn't see the video, I just heard it on like Breakfast Club. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, parlay your fame off of the hype. I get it,
but it's like, don't take away from the message.
Yeah, because I don't know what hers is talking about. They were just, it's just some mayonnaise.
I'm white and I want to be on board.
Yeah, basically. But I did hear that some white people were saying, oh, see, this video isn't about like police crime, it's about black on black crime, because he's a black man shooting black people. And remember, he like took out the whole choir, and it's like, no, he's saying he's America. That was symbolism of
that guy who shot up the church.
Yeah. Oh,
if you didn't know. Yeah. Like that guy that specifically targeted an African American church and went in there and shot them up.
And you know, I heard something about that story. He lived because he went to jail. So, you know what was fucked up? He said that he went to the church, sat in the back, and he was like, damn, everyone here is really nice. Like, he was like, everyone here is really nice and sweet and great. Everybody's great. And then he actually was like, maybe I shouldn't do it. And then he was like, yeah, I'll do it.
Like, what?
Like, he really walked in there and was like, this is a great place. Like, he really when I found that out, I was like, I cannot believe you walked in there.
See, this is why I be believing, like, yeah, they have mental health issues, because I don't know what normal person that would do that. They would just be like, oh, these people are so nice. And they're like, well, you know what? They got to
I'm going to still do it.
We just got to kill him.
That's also the devil. But, you know, the devil don't really work in church as a claim. Like,
he was possessed. Yeah. A demon can get in.
Yeah, because, like, that's the thing is, like, I can say, yeah, that dude clearly had mental health issues if he walked in there and said he liked everyone and then said, nah, I'll still shoot him. Like, but it's like black people, they don't even get that. They're just like, oh, you're a hoodlum and you did.
Like, they always find something bad that they did. So this week I was actually surprised. I was on Yahoo News and I was looking up all the articles. And of course, since there was a school shooting this week, there were a lot of other articles on there related to shootings. And one of them, this lady came home from getting something to eat with her friend, and as soon as like she walked into her driveway, she got shot 9 times and died.
Why?
And they posted a very pleasant picture of her. And so, like, I clicked on it and I went on to read the article, and they were like, yeah, there's no suspects at this time. They don't know who could have done it. But they were like, she was caught with a student, because she was a teacher. She was like 30. She was caught with a student in a car at 2 a.m. and she got suspended from teaching. So they were like, they're trying to see if there's any correlation between her and her relationship that she had with that student. Yeah.
Who the fuck shot her?
9 fucking times.
That's scary as hell.
In her driveway. So like they knew when she was coming home.
They were just
waiting.
Yeah, that's scary as fuck.
Yeah.
And her friend, like, oh my God.
And that kind of made me think about how everybody loves sharing on social media. And I know I don't post on my story a lot. I don't post on my page a lot. I don't post on anything a lot. And it's mainly because the government is keeping track of me enough through my cell phone being on my body.
Right.
I don't need all y'all motherfuckers knowing where I'm at every second
and what
of
I'm
the
wearing.
Day. Yeah, like, and I guess I don't know if I come off sounding very paranoid, but that is like my main reason why I don't post all the time.
Holy moly.
I don't need people knowing where I'm at.
Yeah, I had a moment today where I was like, I might delete my Instagram. Like, it's just like, because Cardi B deleted hers. Not because she did it, but I'm like, I see why people do it. Because,
okay, oh my God, you just reminded me. I was thinking about this week too. It's like how easy it is for people to go online and be evil.
Yeah.
You see so many fucking negative comments when you click on, like, just like any woman's page. So for instance, I had gone on Fashion Novas and it was a picture of Jody. I was like, oh, let me click on it because I know some people are saying some shit in the comments. I go on there and they're like, man, this old plastic ass bitch, why is her belly button so high? Tell your models to stop getting surgery.
Their models do have major surgery,
but
though. That's the only
like
thing.
The belly button thing, I was like, my belly button's high as fuck.
Some
too,
people
though.
have low butt cracks. Like, the shit just happens. I don't know.
Like, I get it. Like, you want to reach for anything to say that she had surgery, and they're like, no, it's bad Photoshop and surgery. And I was like, well, my belly button's high, so it's like, but why do people find it so easy to go out and give nasty comments to people instead of giving compliments?
People really make pages just so that they can talk shit. There's even celebrities that actually have fake pages too, just so that
why are you so upset?
Because they can't comment, and so they have to make a fake page. But I'm like, you don't have to. You could just ignore it.
You could definitely ignore it and block the people.
One celebrity fucked up and didn't switch his pages over and commented with his actual page, and they're like, oh, you have a fake. Like, the way he commented, they were like, you have a fake page. Yeah. Like, and he got all caught up with that shit. Yeah. Like, but it's like, that's how crazy social media is. And we've had that interaction too. Remember with the vital information post, and then coincidentally 4 people comment mind you, it was already an old post at that time. It was maybe a week or more older. It had to be over a week old. And there was comments from when it was posted maybe 2 weeks ago. And then 4 people commented at the same time with a whole bunch of negativity.
And it's like, we might have said some negative shit.
We say negative shit all the time.
But that was a snippet of a conversation you didn't listen to fully.
Right.
And you don't fight evil with evil.
Exactly.
Like, because they said some shit, like, if I was a weak bitch, I probably would have been upset. But the fact that I don't care about what people say on the internet, I kept it pushing. But it's just like, why do you have the time in your day to be able to do that?
Yeah, people are just bored and lonely, and I really hope I never get to the phase where I'm so depressed that I make a fake page just to talk shit to people. But Ashley liked all the comments, like, hey, we're not tripping. But I just did the negative energy. Like, sometimes I just feel like the devil is like around. I'd be feeling some real heavy negative energy, and I felt the devil, so I just fucking blocked all of them.
I'm not gonna disagree.
Yeah, like, the devil works through people. So I'm like, if it feels heavy enough, like, I would have actually left your likes, but it just felt heavy enough to where I was like, I'm gonna block y'all, and never heard from them again.
Yeah, because they were like wishing that we got raped.
Yeah, they were like, I hope y'all get your ass beat by a nigga. I hope y'all get raped. I was like,
I didn't say that.
I don't hope you do.
Said that.
Really don't hope you do. So
never advocated that.
I think that's the devil speaking. But yeah, no, I've had that happen one other time where you know how people will be like, I don't know exactly what it was because I totally don't remember. But you know how, for example, somebody will make a dance video and it'll be like a celebrity and they'll be like, oh, tag Chris Brown. So he sees the dance video. And so it was, I don't know if it was a dance video. It might have been something completely different. But it was one of those situations where it was a Cardi B thing. And so I hashtagged Cardi B. I don't think I tagged her. And it was someone commented right under it, obviously no profile picture, obviously no followers and following 500 people, like one of those pages, no pictures. Like, it was like, what the fuck? Why the fuck you gonna hashtag Cardi B? You look fucking stupid. And I'm like,
okay.
I was like, let me just block you. Because I was like, it's a fake page. Like, and that's what they always, like, when celebrities reply to fake pages, I'm shocked for most of the time. Because I'm like, why are you wasting your time on these people? At least if someone's rude, make sure they're a real person. Like, talk to the real evil people. Don't talk to the fake pages.
Or just don't talk to evil people at all. Make them look stupid.
They can't help themselves
because you look real dumb when nobody's talking back to you.
Right. You just look sad. And usually it's like somebody will be like, like on comments, like Hey Fran Hey from the Friend Zone, she said that some girl was all like, because Fran has gained weight, and she was like, "Oh, Fran, you've gained weight. What the fuck? Like, you need to stop eating. Your hips are real wide."
Bitch, what the fuck you look like?
And that's exactly what Fran said,
Yeah.
but she didn't comment it because she almost did, because she wanted to be petty, but she's like a really nice person. And she went on she was like, so I clicked the girl's page, and she was like, for how she looked, I don't know why she was talking to me. And she was like, and obviously, like, she had like no followers, and which followers don't matter. But when I'm talking about the context of followers, it's you don't have followers because your page isn't real. Like,
Yeah.
And so she had no followers in that context, and then she was just like, yeah, I'm just not gonna respond. Like, and she's famous, so
it's a
like
waste of energy.
She can't block everyone. Like,
yeah.
she's already famous, but us, we can block.
Oh yes, I love that button.
I don't even know if I blocked that person that commented like that. I think I just like read it and I was like, and then just left. I was just like, ooh, y'all just.
Sometimes I'll just laugh back because that's literally what I'm doing when I read that shit. Like, it doesn't affect me, guys.
Yeah,
sorry.
it's like okay. But yeah, sorry, we keep tangenting. I'm trying to think of the only other images I saw from the This Is America video. I do recall everyone running in the background, but I want to watch it again to really pay attention to what everyone was doing in the background, because I feel like there was more going on. Yeah,
I feel like it's important.
Yeah, so it was just the running, but at the end of the video, he begins to run really fast also. So he's joining them, but I'm like, so what are you guys?
And I want to know, what is the meaning of the shirtlessness?
Right. Oh, he looked like a slave. Oh, you know what? What the fuck is his name? This comedian. He was like, how the fuck you gonna be out here wearing pants with no belts when us niggas is out here needing belts, and you out here fully dancing, not ripping your pants, and you ain't wearing a belt? And then DJ Envy was like, man, he's making it cool for niggas with no abs to not have shirts on. And I was like, that's true though. Like, that is true.
And hairy chest, because his chest is hairy.
I love hairy chest.
And he making not getting a lineup work.
Yeah, he look rough. But the crazy, everyone's like, well, Childish Gambino, because he's married to a white woman. Yeah.
He's married?
Yeah. He's married to a white woman.
That's not that surprising.
And even Jordan Peele, who did Get Out.
He's married to a white woman. And so is Omari Hardwick from Power. He's married to a white woman.
Oh, yeah.
She looks very interesting, though. And not in the good way.
Omari looks interesting. Because he went from
he fine as fuck.
But he went from, like, I watched the show, and he went from fine as fuck to, like,
because he was a cheating ass nigga, bitch.
Yeah.
He was foul as shit.
Like, start hating that Mexican bitch. Like, how you gonna fuck up that family? Fucking weak ass bitch. And she was just doing her fucking job.
Over here making, like, what is the little boy's name?
Tariq.
It's so funny when like people like good morning to everybody
except Tariq. No, after that episode aired, the boy and the actor, like the actual guy, he was like in the club, and they were like, how Tariq in the club when his sister just died?
That's my show. It's coming back on.
When do you know when?
It's in July.
Because they already finished taping it. Okay, cool.
Because
Insecure comes on the day after I graduate. I'll never forget, because it's the day.
August.
Yeah.
Okay.
They said August 12th. I said, oh, I'm not forgetting that day, because that's the last.
The nigga's about to be chilling.
That's what I'll be moving. Like, my roommate, one of my roommates, not the one I dislike more, but the one that I dislike less, was like, she was like, oh, are you moving out in August? Because I'm thinking about taking your room and someone's taking mine. And I was like, yes, girl, August 11th, with like exclamation mark and a happy face. And she was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, even if they were just asking to be like, when's this bitch leaving? Yeah. I'm like, no, bitch, I'm excited.
Like, I don't care.
I want to leave. I want to leave. But, yeah, I don't know what that running was about in the video.
Shit.
Running from the cops,
because it was like mixed with dancing, so
yeah, but and then all those school kids were dancing. I'm like, shout out to those kids, because I think they're the same ones from that original video.
And I want to know the symbolism that his face had, because he was making some weird faces, and I feel like I seen it on like some of those blackface depictions that they used to have of us. I feel like I seen it.
Oh my god. Yeah, because the guy who did the music video has done like, I think, all of his videos or many of his videos. So it's like, because I've seen like one or two of his other videos, and they're all like kind of really interesting. And so he's trying to send a message, but I'm gonna have to listen more about what people's opinions are about that running, because That was the only thing. The church choir was obvious.
Yeah.
I don't think it necessarily.
Because who else died? I feel like 3 groups of people died. Well, the man died, then they died.
The choir died.
Because he just kept shooting people, and it was very abrupt. It was like things would be going smoothly, and you're like, okay, I'm getting into this, and then he fucking shoots somebody.
That was the message too. Shit is going real smoothly, and then
yeah.
Because the way he killed the choir, I was like,
oh, what? It's probably with how quickly we get over these tragedies.
Yeah, that's it. Because right when he killed him, what he started doing, dancing. He started dancing.
We figured it out, guys. Light bulb has gone off.
And there was a part where like all the kids were on their cell phones, and it's like all this mayhem is going on, and people were like,
"Yeah."
So I mean, it sucks. Like, I wonder what it's like our parents seeing. I'm gonna ask my dad actually, like when they're seeing all this shit happening. But at the same time, they're not. My dad has no understanding of social media at all, so it's like he couldn't really have a huge opinion on that. But at the same time, it's like he witnessed Trump become president, and that really put him into a lot of shock, you know? So it's like, how do you feel? And it's like, you're not even on social media, and you don't realize that social media is the reason why this nigga's president. You know, like, you're not even on the platform that made this guy president. You just are on, like, CNN and all those channels.
My dad talks about his impeachment, like, every day, and I'm like, Dad.
I mean, I want this nigga to get impeached, too.
I do, too, but I'm like... It's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I can't continue to hold on to hope for this because it'll just make me depressed.
Yeah. I mean, I'm already depressed, so.
It'll just make things worse.
I know. I'm trying to think of any other images I saw in there that was weird. I think those are the main images that I can think of that I've heard be discussed. Yeah, and you had like one other additional question, I think it was. Please tell us your opinions on the This Is America, because we are really trying to decipher everything Childish Gambino was trying to say. So please, like, let us know what you think, because we want to be woke. We still ain't no freedom fighters, but we do want to be woke.
Yeah, I want to be woke, and I want to be able to go to work with my hair, however.
And promise, this podcast is happening, but we finna get some shit popping. I'm just gonna speak that shit into existence. I'm still not gonna say what it is, but we gonna get some shit popping, and then
no flashy bitch.
Yeah, and then I mean, and we can also use that in a certain ways, not that, but like our growth as like a platform to actually make a difference, you know. Interesting.
Help advocate for y'all.
Exactly.
You talking about the TV?
Yeah.
We're watching like Viceland's playing in the background, guys, as always, and of course they're always like showing weed and shit.
Yeah, so we were just like, interesting. Man, I want to be in Viceland so bad. Sorry,
I want to be back in Amsterdam. I did have one more question, but I think we could save it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And we did our Look at God at the beginning of the episode. Yeah. So you guys send us some Look at God so we can shout out your Look at God next week.
Or some I feel you, sis. Because you going through a struggle too.
Yeah, like I'm shocked that I was able to pull it together. And so
distraction helps that way.
Right, exactly. I was hoping that it would too.
Yeah.
And so at least these are things that will never be deleted. So people can listen back and be like, I am not the only one going through this. Like, and yes, all I'm going to do is continue to try to distract myself. Like, I have so many YouTube videos I need to watch for my class that all I'm going to do for the rest of tonight is distract myself, drink water. Like, you know, just drink water.
I definitely need to finish my homework.
Yeah. My homework's due tomorrow at 9. But the thing I just realized is I left my book in my apartment. So I'm actually going to buy the online book and then just return it tomorrow. Yeah, because you can get a full refund within way over 24 hours. So I was like, let me just buy the book online and then refund it, because I've been so scatterbrained that I'm not even shocked that I left my shit at my apartment. And I'm like, I need to get it together 100%. Yeah. I need to fully, like, thank God, both classes that I'm struggling in, they both dropped the lowest score. So I'm actually at a, like, clean slate. I just cannot continue to fuck up.
I should have said my lucky guy was I got a B+ in my last class.
Yeah. You know what I'm also wondering? I'm like, you know how most schools are like, oh, you have to get a C or higher, you can't get a C-. I don't know if my school's like that. I think my school might just only be GPA based. But my advisor, like, ran into me on Friday, like, while I was having issues, like, just ran into me, and he was like, yeah, just let me know, like, if you need to get a tutor, like. And I was like, because I told him, like, I was like, I'm shocked that this is a required course, because this is OD hard. I've never seen some shit like this. Like, you'd probably be much better at it just because that's your major and you've done neuroscience and shit. But yeah, and he was just like, yeah, if you need a tutor, we can talk about it. I was like, yeah. I said, let me just see how this week goes, and then after this week, I'll hit you and let you know, because I'm like, I need a tutor, but I'm also like, can I just get a bad grade and just do great in my other classes? Because my 4-unit classes, this is a 2-unit, which means it ends in 4 weeks. My 4-unit classes, which go all the way until my graduation, they're so easy. So fucking easy. Both teachers don't give, well, one gives midterms, but the first one's a at-home midterm.
Oh, and that's gravy.
The second one's in class, but it's like, he's super helpful. So it's like, and then the other one has no tests, and it's a 4-unit class. No tests.
Okay.
And then my Friday class, it's learnable. I just didn't study, you know, so bombed. I think the whole class bombed. I literally got up and I walked up to him and I was like, do we need to hand you the test or just leave it on our desk? And he was all like, oh, I could take it. He was like, did you do okay? I was like, no. I was like, honestly, I didn't have any time to study, and I'm not going to sit here and just, excuse me. I was like, I'm not going to sit here and just like waste your time by putting answers that don't make any sense. I was like, I have no idea. Like, I was like, I bombed that. But the cool thing is he drops your lowest grade out of 4 grades, and then he averages your 3 top grades and makes that your 4th grade. And I was like, okay.
That's what my teacher did too.
That's a look at God right there.
You're helping me out. You're helping bitch out.
Yeah.
Because this nigga fucking showed how to do our project in class. Like, he damn near did the whole project. So I copied all that shit down,
yeah.
Right? And then I just modeled my project after it, and I couldn't finish one part because I didn't have enough time, and he still gave me a 90.
See, some teachers give a fuck about their students,
right?
But some really don't.
And he makes YouTube videos for every homework assignment. He'll make it for after we take the midterm. He'll tell you on your midterm what you did wrong and what you need to do to correct it. And he'll even make a YouTube video for your specific mistake.
God bless
so
those
that
teachers.
You can redo it. I'm like, nigga,
God bless those
fuck
teachers.
with you.
And it's like, it's crazy because I'm looking into teaching just for fun, because I really want to dabble. My personality, it's like,
I get bored.
I get bored.
That's my main problem.
I'm afraid of graduating because of how bored I am, but I hate school so much that I'm like, I don't care. Plus, when I graduate, when I'm not in school, I lose weight rapidly. You know, like, because I'm not
snacking while I'm studying.
And if I get hit with like a boom terrible thing, I will eat something tasty to make me not feel like shit. Like, and that's what a million girls do. You know, like, and men too.
I mean, people do it.
Yeah, I was like, men too. Everyone does that shit. But that's why I was like, if all I have to do is go to work, mind you, like, the only reason I'm busy at work is because I only work 20 hours a week. Like, if I have 40, man,
this is America.
I'm finna go to the gym during my lunch break. People do go to the gym during their lunch break.
They do. That's the most cracking time I've come to realize when you go to the gym, besides when everybody gets off work.
Oh my God.
When you go at lunchtime, it's packed. When you go when everybody's off work, it's packed.
And I have no choice but to go when everyone's off work, right? So I go and I try to run 2 miles before boot camp, right? And it was so busy that the only treadmill I got was in the sun. Yeah. So I only could run like a mile and a half because I was like my body was rejecting how hot the sun, because it was burning me to where I had to keep my sunglasses on while I was on the treadmill. That's how it was a full, because you know they have the full glass windows at some 24s, like full sun just on me, and I'm running 2 miles, and I was just like, oh no, I can't do this anymore. And mind you, I still had to go to boot camp for an hour after that. Like, lost a lot of weight, but like, no, that's not healthy.
I was just about to say,
almost had a full heat stroke.
Unhealthy habits and shit.
Almost
you telling people take care of mental health.
Like, it's healthy to run 2 miles and then go to boot camp. It is not healthy to burn out and almost have a heat stroke
and die
and then go to boot camp. Like, it's also not okay to starve yourself. I have to mention that too, because whenever I gain too much weight, I just won't eat. It's not healthy.
Sometimes, like, when I eat unhealthy, I just won't want to eat because I feel like
the food should suffice for longer, right? Yeah, that's kind of how I think about it too. Plus, fasting for you know, if you eat fast, there's nothing wrong with fasting.
If people don't die during Ramadan,
right,
then you could do it for one day.
Man, I might just switch over just so I can be forced to do
disrespectful.
Ramadan. I know, it's really
disrespectful.
It's disrespectful to both religions. Like, damn.
Like, you gonna leave so you can fast and lose weight?
So you can lose weight.
Okay, so Jesus, I'm sorry.
The devil will attack me for that. And then to go on that long walk, there's like this long trek that they do, like a 40-mile trek, but people die on that. So I'm
what?
Yeah, some like trek to the Holy Land, and like in like Jerusalem.
Can
or
we take
some
a helicopter.
Right, I'll take a PJ and just land at the Holy Land, like, I'm here, Jesus.
You take me as I am.
Take me. There's a song like that. Take me as I am. I go to a Catholic church, guys, so it's always like, oh Jesus. Sorry, guys. So,
where can you find us at?
Just so you know, find us on Apple Podcasts, Young and Gettin It Podcast. Subscribe and leave a review. Also, SoundCloud.com/WeAreYAGIP. Follow us. Leave a comment. We see you on there. Thank you for following us. Also, YouTube.com. Just search Young and Gettin It Podcast. Just remember that getting doesn't end with a G. It ends with an N and an apostrophe because we're getting it. We're millennials, so we're not going to getting it.
And black.
And we're black, yes. So we're going to use Ebonic-wise words. Also, we're on Google Play for you guys that have that. We're on Stitcher for you guys that have that. And we're on Pocket Casts for you guys that have that.
Okay, and thank you for sticking with us. I'm going to get it right this time with the social media. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at YAGI_podcast. You can also find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/YAGIPOD. You can find us on our fabulous website, www.weareyagip.com. And you can hit us up in our email, ashleyandninapod@gmail.com, or in our DMs on any of our social media if you feel the need. And then one little last thing I want to add real quick is like when you're talking, like, you know what I hate, dislike is when you're talking to somebody that's not black and then you say something and you're like, yeah, probably because I'm black. And they're like, no,
that's probably not
the reason. Like, bitch, shut up.
Sorry, you just reminded me of someone said that because I was talking.
Somebody said that to me this week and I was just like, okay.
I was talking to somebody about how like black men don't fuck with black women. And I was like, nobody in the group I was talking to was black. They were just trying to learn. And I was saying like, I was like, they don't fuck with black women, but if they're light skinned, they'll fuck with them. And this girl who's like Russian was like, but, what did she say? Because now I'm like,
it's probably so wild and pissed you off.
She said something like, but I'm light skinned and men don't like, and I was like,
you're not black.
The conversation luckily ended because someone came and interrupted it because I remember just turning to my friend who came back with a drink, but I was just like, you're a whole Russian Armenian, plus she's embarrassed to tell people she's Armenian, so she only tells people she's Russian. I don't know about all that self-hate, so I just couldn't talk to her at all about that shit. Like,
talking about light skin, bitch. I have never seen a dark skin Russian.
Right? I've never seen a dark skin Armenian.
They were black.
The
like a black Russian.
Kardashians are the darkest Armenians, and they're tanned like with spray. Like, what are you talking about? Fucking weird.
This is America.
This is America. But yeah, thank you guys. We'll see you next week.